Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Implications of Phineas and Ferb podcast.
There's 365 days in a gap year, and uni's gonna come and end it. So the once in a lifetime problem for us is find a good way to spend it.
Making a podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm surprised that we're still continuing, considering we're not doing season 2.
Yeah, I know, and I think we're in episode 2 now.
We have gone so far. Can you imagine telling us when we're making episode 2 of season 1 that we'd get all the way to season 2?
Yeah, it's not like I had any thoughts that season 2 would indeed exist at season 1.
I personally didn't even think I'd be alive at this point, so we're doing great.
That's very true. All right, so as with what's happening, season 2, episode 2, and
the episode is the same as the episode on Disney Plus. Life is great.
Oh, I know, imagine.
Isn't the world wonderful?
Yep, so interview with a platypus and tip of the day, and I'm doing the synopsis for the first one, and it is what I think is a total waste of time. They make a Perry translator, and when they came up with the idea, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And then I remembered what we established in the last episode. Just ask Carol down out behind the counter at the retail shop.
Yes.
Just ask the people that is working for the fedoras or the banker. They know what he's saying.
If you go to any fedora salesman in the continental United States, you will find a person who speaks platypus. Why would you bother making a machine?
Just bring Perry to them and be like, Perry, say what you want. Oh, that's what he wanted.
That is a waste of milkshake bar funds. Like, what are you doing?
Come on, guys. Or if they ever talk to Doof again. But anyway, they make the Perry translator, and it actually turns out to be every animal on the world translator.
Yeah. The fact that they can accidentally add other animal languages in is very on brand for Phineas and Ferb.
It was an accident, and it brings up a question that I'd like to ask, because one of the birds, once it finally realizes that they have a machine that will now tell everyone how they feel, it goes and tells everyone. Do you think a bird and a dog can talk to each other?
Ooh, that is an interesting implication.
In this universe they can. Certainly they can. Can they in ours?
I'm going to say no on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to say no as well. Yeah. There is no way.
Most animals have just weird differences in frequencies that they can hear and stuff. Like not just a bird and a dog. Like they can probably hear each other.
All sorts.
But they've all got different ears and different mouths and doing different things and.
Yeah, and even the bird says to Phineas, aren't you a bit young to do interspecial
communication?
Does that mean between species, like a bird and a dog, they can't speak, which apparently they can. But that's fine. I'm prepared. Cool stuff.
I'm sold on that. I also wanted to say this episode, the first episode of this one, it feels like probably the most classic, standard Phineas and Ferb episode I could imagine. Not that it's not saying it's bad or it's boring.
If you were to start off someone with an episode,
all the tropes. It's got Candace going wild over Jeremy. It's got the "Aren't you a little young" joke. It's got some ridiculous invention. Probably the only expectation subversion
from the classic formula.
Is the mum actually sees the creation. She just doesn't think it's that impressive. Which
is different from it just not being there.
Yeah. And of course, the wonderful subversion of the song playing while Candace is being chased by the animals, which is...
Oh, if only we had talked to someone who'd let us know about this beautiful idea of being chased by animals.
If only we had the inside scoop on, what the point of the joke...
It's 70 degrees or whatever he said.
Humidity's at 50%.
Oh, classic.
Good old Swampy.
If you actually want to listen to that, there is an episode where we talk to him and he says that.
And it's amazing, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. So that's cool.
Together.
Yep, we did it. I'm proud of us.
That was crisp.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You should get a sample on that.
Yeah, get a high five sample. Get a high five sample so we don't actually have to be in the same room anymore.
It's like, I can't be stuffed. I'll just press this button. Yep, wrong button.
All right, here's some rapid fire implications.
Okay.
I'm bringing it back. It's going to be a reoccurring segment. When will it fall in the episode? Who knows?
When will we stop doing it because we forgot about it? Like most of the other tropes we tried to start?
4 episodes, maybe?
Yeah, I give about 3.
Jeez, that's
including last one. So one more.
Rapid fire implications. Good on Alka for trying to swap to sustainable energy sources, even if it's unpaid labour.
Well, it's better than your hamster powering your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Carl powering their entire services.
100%. Candace is quirky.
She's quirky.
She's not like other girls.
I'm not like other girls. That does lead in perfectly with how good Jeremy is. I love Jeremy.
Jeremy's a legend.
He is who I want to be and the boyfriend I want to be. Sweet moments. I know he doesn't really interact with her well when he's playing games, but that's all right. He still cares for her. And at the end, he brings it home, finding her shoe in the toilet, cleaning it. He doesn't even bring up that she just ruined his toilet. Like, he's like, no, that's fine. Here's your shoe. I've got it cleaned for you. Let me put it on your foot for you. Let me.
How romantic.
It
It's
was
like a Cinderella moment.
Yeah,
It's
it was.
beautiful.
And then she collapses, like faints because of how lovely it is.
And I would too. 100%.
100%. And he asks her how she is, and she's like, enchanted. And I'm like, because you should be. Because that is Jeremy. Because he is amazing.
Wonderful line.
I love me, Jeremy.
More implications. I appreciate that Perry and Doof are kind of settled into a rhythm now, and they're just going through the motions, and they've kind of given up trying to be like super aggressive to each other. Like Perry shows up and he's like, "Oh, hey Perry, what's up?" Like,
Just come here. It's just me. You get trapped. This is part of the story.
and Perry seems so completely unbothered whenever he's trapped at this point because he's just like, "Yeah, I've done this before.
Okay.
I'm gonna get." It's never hard to get out of these.
Yeah, I'm going to get it. It's not an issue.
Very cool that Danville has a dam for absolutely no reason.
No. Well, no, because that is not a dam. That is poorly constructed. Who designs a dam with the opening in the middle
Floodgates.
vertical?
It's not a dam, it's floodgates.
That's a dam.
Well, firstly, they have a system designed to open the dam. And secondly, they have a system designed to filter the water through the town, meaning that that implies that they would let the dam open to allow more water through. It's a floodgate.
Do you know how other floodgates or dam openings work?
No.
It's actually kind of easy. You have a horizontal thing and you just raise it a little bit and it pours out and then you close it.
Very smart.
No, a direct vertical cut in the middle ain't holding shit. Do you know how much pressure there is?
Very powerful
on
hinges.
on the hinges, on the pivotal points on either end? That's not how you build a dam. That is a bad design in every way. It is not holding any sort of water.
Well, sometimes you just got to design a badly designed dam for
some
for
reason.
for a fantastic plot.
It does release a whole lot of water very fast, which is what you don't want in a dam.
Yeah. But luckily, Doof's going to be fine. He's got
a new invention.
revolutionary invention.
It's going to break the world. It's going to a complete new way of transport. You can go across waters now. You don't need to fly. You don't need to drive. You can't drive in water. You can now with Doof's new drive-on-water machine. It's called a boat.
Do you know what BOAT stands for? Did you write it down?
No.
I didn't write it down either. I'm too lazy.
It's buoyancy. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
We're the leading Phineas and Ferb podcast. We always do our research.
We literally just watched it. I was just stuck with the whole boat. That was my favorite. I'm going boating.
What a great joke.
I did enjoy it.
Good stuff. Another rapid fire implication. Very cool that Doof gives a shout out to where Swampy and I'm assuming Dan lives. Venice, California.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Because it's actually part of the joke where he's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to flood it and make it look like Venice and sell my boat device. What the fuck is that? I'm going to flood it like Venice in... Where is Venice? Venice is in Venice, isn't it? Isn't Venice a place? Okay, Google, where's Venice? Yeah, it's Italy. Venice is definitely in Italy.
Very cool.
God, we're deleting that.
Will I delete it? It was
You
quite
are.
funny.
You are.
It was really funny.
I was really expecting Google to say it, but she didn't because she's a slow ass. Anyway, and so then they rip on it by saying, or probably to the lesser degree, Venice,
California.
Yeah, Venice. Yeah,
Venice, California. Yep. I
Lennis.
thought that was quite funny. Lennis. This episode's chaotic. I love it.
It was a good joke, and I really enjoyed it. I've never actually been to that Venice. When I went to Los Angeles, I didn't visit. Yeah.
Wow, disappointing.
Well, my mum's actually been to the real Venice, so she's probably just like, nah, I'm not going to second best.
Well, when I travel internationally, I
that-
went to all sorts of Venices,
Yeah, it
all
was
over
great.
the world. hmm
Mm.
And it's looking like I'm going to be traveling a lot internationally soon as well. So I can
Like
visit even more. of
everyone
them.
else in the
like
world.
everyone else.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Phineas and Ferb, they're being animal therapists back at...
Phineas is just being a normal therapist.
Yeah.
Just let it all out. I'm like, I want you to do my therapy.
100%. Can you imagine Phineas's like digitherapy? Your skin would be clearer, your life would be better.
Can you imagine
Crops
doing
planted.
your mental breakdown with a 10-year-old child shaped like a triangle?
And he's like, listen, do you want me to invent a machine to alter the fabric of the universe to remove your trauma from existence?
It's called
or
a
do you
make.
want me to listen? And you're like, I'd just like you to listen, Stan. He's like, okay,
And make
I
you feel
can do
better,
that.
Anita. Surprise, it's drugs.
That is a bad message to send to the listeners of this podcast.
Oh, I don't want to get into that.
Alrighty.
So he's doing the therapy for animals.
Yeah.
And then it pans out when Candace is like, I'm going to shitbag some animals. That can't go wrong in the midst of lots of animals. And you see lots of animals, including giraffes, lions, elephants, ostriches, and gorillas. Now, where did they come from? And if you say Africa, I'm going to throw this microphone in your face.
The zoo.
No. How'd they break out of the zoo? Zoos are made so animals can't break out. That's literally the whole point of them. That's why zoos exist.
Like, yes, but
That is true.
you'd be quite motivated if you discovered that you could speak for the first time.
Why don't they just... They start having, like, wireless headsets, right? They could just go to the zoo
Yeah, true.
instead of making a huge breakout. And there was multiple of them.
I would say it's because visual comedy.
Yeah, I probably
was-
agree with that.
it
It
was
wouldn't
funny.
be much of a stampede if it was household animals. Oh no,
Exclusively.
Mr. Fluffy's coming after
I don't
me.
know,
Quick, run.
1,000 hamsters running at you.
That would be
That
kinda
would be
dope.
terrifying.
With like the rats and like the rats people keep and snakes.
Ferrets,
God.
yeah.
Ferrets? Oh, that would be kind of awful.
I don't mind
Because they're
ferrets.
not
Ferrets are
like
kinda
big
cute.
animals that just crush you. They'd be the ones that like jump on you and like start nibbling you and you just die of like
Yikes.
tiny little bites and you start.
You're making this
bleeding out.
episode of a children's cartoon a lot more visceral than it
Yeah,
needs to
actually, I'd rather take an elephant just
be. Get it in
than
an instant then.
5,000 rabbits chewing me apart.
Touche. Candace gets both.
Candace is lucky.
This
She
is-
gets both.
This is that beautiful episode that Swampy talks about.
Yes,
with
we're
that.
going to bring that
Oh,
up again.
I am going to bring that up again because I like flexing the fact that we've had Swampy on the podcast.
Fair enough. You know what also would flex?
What?
A beautiful segue into our sponsor.
Oh yeah, because we've got a sponsor to talk out. This week's episode is brought to you by me. I do the mixing for this, and I want to be appreciated a little
I
bit.
pay for everything.
It's all my music gear. I want to be appreciated.
No, that's fair enough. You should be appreciated. And I'd like to appreciate other things I enjoy in life and be
Yeah.
paid to do so. But
I
I'm not,
can't.
so I can't.
I've been out here appreciating shit for free for 18 years.
I want that to change now.
And then last, but probably the biggest implication, which we briefly mentioned before, there's a moat around Danville.
Just a straight up ginormous moat that is covered up with like some iron doors that you can press in the middle of a forest and it just opens it up. Anyone.
Firstly, why bother with the iron doors?
Just have a moat.
If the water is going to flood the city if the iron doors aren't there, and there's no reason for it to go around, like it's not like you
Why-
have to sacrifice.
why
Why would
do
you
you-
not just have them open all the time?
Yeah, why would you just not, have a conventional moat and
Yeah.
just have a bridge here and there?
Yeah, why not? They
And
already
then-
have bridges. It's like clearly already a river system, and it's just like being
Second
overflowed and
question.
stuff. Like,
Why do they have a moat?
and why is it only around the like city, the central city part of Danville?
So where do you live? Oh, I'm on the other side of the moat. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
the other-
I know where
the
that
other
is,
side of the
yeah.
moat, because we're in a city that has a moat, despite being in.
residential city.
We're in a residential city that has a moat that's in the center of the United States, an hour away from Mount Rushmore and an hour away from the beach. Snazzy.
Snazzy. Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. I don't know. I feel like you need one for the episode to make sense.
I'm perfectly down for that explanation. I
And for-
hate on the internet when people are like, this doesn't make sense because of this specific detail. It's like, it's a cartoon, my dude. Watch it and enjoy it.
Calm down.
Because that's what I'm doing.
You're
I'm
not
just sitting
getting
here
any
enjoying it.
awards for this. And Doof
But-
was accidentally, I'm going to say accidentally because I don't think he thought it through that well, going to just like kill thousands of people.
Yeah.
You can't flood an entire city and not expect someone to die.
Yeah,
But Doof,
you know,
Doof I
we all
can
make sacrifices for
For the things we need.
Commercialism. Yep.
For capitalism. I need to sell my boats.
See, we were roasting because it's like, you can't take this literally. You can't be like, oh my God, you can't enjoy it because it's literal. Well, that's literally what our show is.
Can't be that meta.
we're just taking everything literally. Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
Alrighty, second episode.
Yes, please.
Let's do it. I got the synopsis this time. Dad's doing a crossword.
No, let me rephrase that. Mum's doing the crossword. Dad's just putting the numbers in and thinking he's doing it.
It's very accurate to real life because...
Yes, I would know, because when my father gets the paper, he just gets the paper and doesn't come back.
When my dad gets the paper, he takes 18 years to do it. My dad would never let Mum help him with a crossword or any sort of brain puzzle because my dad is like exceptionally competitive at brain stuff and he doesn't realize it. Like one time we were camping and we had this like fold out thing that you could use as like a little modesty protector so that you could like have a shower while you're camping or like accurately throw hot water on your head and call it a day. And it folded up in a certain way. It was like mostly
one
fabric,
of those, like you twist
and you twist it and it goes in
together.
And we couldn't work out how to fold it up, so we chucked it in the back of the trailer and just like started going home. And we stopped at Macca's at one point. We all went in and we all ordered a coffee, and then we turned around and Dad wasn't there, and we're like, what the fuck? And we go out and he's in the parking lot and he's got to get the paper. He's out in the parking lot and he's trying to fold this thing up, and Mum's like, we have service now, we can Google it. And Dad's like, no, I'm gonna fold it up. And Kelly's like, I think I know how you could fold it up. He's like, no, I am going to fold it up. It took him like a solid 20 minutes, but he did it and he nailed it.
That's good. I respect that. If you want to learn, you got to learn. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Exactly. So, rapid fire, you didn't know.
There are 13 volumes of useless shoe facts.
Yep.
13. They are thick books.
They are several hundred pages at least.
And they get to aglets in volume, what was it, like 8?
8 or 9, yeah.
What were the other 8? What else? What facts are there?
Here's my question. Have you ever looked at... my shoelaces right now don't really show it.
I'm looking at your
You ever
shoes.
looked at a shoelace?
Yes.
It's round, but it's got 2 lines on the side of it, on either side.
What are you talking about?
Have you seen a shoelace?
Hang on. I have a shoelace. Look.
See?
Here's a shoelace.
2 lines. See that?
Yeah. That's
What are
the
those?
stitching.
Do they stitch it horizontally? How does that work?
When you have
Because a rope doesn't have those.
a flat
it's a mini
piece
rope.
of fabric
Yeah.
and you stuff it with whatever the fuck's in a shoelace,
Mm.
you then fold it over and then you like...
See, I was always under the assumption that a shoelace was stitching going like along the length of the shoelace, like a miniature rope.
You want to know some more fun facts?
Yeah.
In year 5, I think, of primary school, I was doing my shoelace up in the middle of a field. One of my teachers there, I think it was Mr. Floyd. Anyway, he was just like, did you know that flat shoelaces are better than circle shoelaces for tying? Because apparently they get less undone with friction or whatever. And I'm like, interesting. Yeah, that's it.
That story sounded like it was going somewhere.
So you should have flat shoelaces.
Well, I'm wearing flat shoelaces right now.
And I'm not, so
proud of me.
obviously the master race when it comes to shoes.
Exactly.
And I bet you that useless fact would be 4.
Well, yeah, probably somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Definitely before the first 8 volumes.
The first couple of volumes deal with like the lacing of the shoes, beginning at the bottom of the tongue and going up to the top.
I wonder what these volumes classify as a shoe. Because you could at least cover 3 volumes in that.
Yeah,
They mention loafers later in the episode.
Do you talk about more broad versions
Thongs.
of ways of keeping shoes on? So do you talk about the elastic on the sides of loafers? Do you talk about the straps on sandals? Yeah, jandals.
Jandals is New Zealand. Thongs is ours. What does Americans call it?
Flip-flops. Because they flip-flop. The flip-flop, flip-flop.
To be fair, thongs don't thong, so...
Yeah.
I guess we don't have much logic for that.
And also, in Australia, we have this nasty habit of just not inventing new names for things. Like, the underwear thong is still called a thong, but
Or
the
a
shoe
G-string.
thong is also called a thong. And we have, instead of crisps, fries, and chips, we just have chips, and chips.
Yeah, you'll figure it out by context. I want those chips.
Yeah.
I'm usually referring to the chips in front of me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wearing a thong, usually the ones on my feet.
Usually.
Usually, there are certain circumstances where that changes.
Don't throw me with a good time show. Oh my god.
This is a dark, warm booth.
Yeah, it is
If you
getting
get
quite
my-
sweaty.
Feeling. Wink.
Wink, wink, wink,
Was
wink.
that
wink.
like Perry's noise just then?
Kind of, I guess.
Yeah, not bad. And there was that cute scene in the episode before where they just started doing their Perry noises to each other.
I love this show. So yeah, the crossword that the dad's doing, by the way, worth mentioning.
Yes.
Rapid fire. Some of the things that he gets. What's the metal tip of an umbrella called?
Fennel or something?
Yep, ferrule.
Feral.
Next thing, what do you call the tip of an elbow?
I always got called it was the weenus at school.
It's an
Olecranon.
olecranon.
Olecranon. That'd be a cool name for something.
Yeah, it sounds like the name of a wizard from a D&D campaign.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Olecranon from the 5th dimension.
Olecranon the Great.
Olecranon the Firemancer.
And then, of course, the crux of this episode, we've already discussed it a bunch. The tip of a shoelace is called an aglet.
An aglet. And A-G-L-E-T, that is.
Yep.
Aglet.
Aglet.
The most important thing you'll ever hear in your life.
Yep.
Because it will fix all your problems.
All of your problems.
Now, this is the biggest implication I think we've had in a while.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's one that gets jumped across so easily.
Mm.
So, Phineas says, if you know what an aglet is, it will make your life so much better. Candace, the disbeliever, I don't know why she's still a disbeliever at this point, doesn't believe, because that is her role. And she leaves. And so then there's this guy, and he's like, an aglet is the tip of the thing on your shoelace. And the guy's like, an aglet? Girl comes across, marries him.
Yep.
He
He's
says
like,
it again. Guy comes across, gives
"You've
him
got
a
a promotion.
What? Where did these people come from? It's the power of the aglet. And so I've
His
written...
hair grows back in an instant just by saying the word.
So the aglet is indeed, in this universe, Jesus Christ.
It's like, is it the aglet itself as a concept, or is it Phineas and Ferb's obsession with something that holds little to no meaning inherently? They've put meaning into it by caring about it, and because they're Phineas and Ferb, the meaning.
Well, I
makes
said
it
we
magical.
thought Phineas and Ferb were gods.
Yes.
And so then this is their child, as it were. Like, you know how there's the Holy Spirit,
Oh, the aglet is the Holy Spirit of the...
Phineas
Yeah.
and Ferb. And so with the aglet, you can... And
This is
it's
so
not
dumb.
it's not even having an aglet. It's just knowing
It's
what
just knowing what an aglet is.
your life gets significantly better, to the point where you can actually hear what an aglet is. This man, great joke. He looks blind and he is blind. And then
And
they
he's,
tell,
like, and then he's like, wait, what's happening?
and he's like, I can hear now. The first words that man heard was
Aglet.
coincidence? Obviously not.
Yeah.
Phineas and
obviously.
Ferb said it. Oh, I don't know who said it, but
It
yes.
was the bloke who got his hair grown back.
Yeah, he is a
So
disciple.
you don't even need to be Phineas and Ferb saying it. You don't
No.
even need to be around Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah,
You can just
you can be the disciple of the
hearing-
aglet.
Yeah, hearing restored. Church of the Aglet. Let's get going.
And the religion of the aglet keeps going further when they do that concert, which I thought
yes.
was very much like a Hillsong concert that I haven't been to one, but it
but
was.
it's definitely a spoof of Live Aid.
Yeah,
That is
it
the joke
probably
they're going
is,
for.
but-
because it's called Aglet Aid, which is quite funny.
And it's true putting themselves
Which
there.
means Phineas is taking the role of the late great Freddie Mercury
Which
in this concert.
I'm actually okay with.
I support that. Yeah.
If anyone in this world was to have a triangle head, Freddie Mercury's probably number one on the list. We still
Yes.
haven't mentioned Doof at all.
Doof plot. All right, let's go over this real quick. Perry does a halo jump. Just wanted to mention that up front. It's not the start of the story, but it sure as hell is the best part.
And he's in equipment that he doesn't even use. He just
Yeah.
ends up using the bubble thing.
Yeah.
Mind you, the bubble does like melt the side of the wall. He was in that bubble and did not melt.
What the hell is Perry made out of?
Tom Cruise. The answer is Tom
Cruise, if you're listening and you want your next big role, hit us up.
You want to be
get
Perry
in
the
touch with Jan
Platypus
and Swampy.
in the indestructible Perry the Platypus suit.
Oh, 100%. Can you imagine the stunts? Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible parodied this like 10 years later in their Halo jump.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they had to train the cameraman to Halo jump as well so that the cameraman and Tom Cruise could be in sync when they were jumping off. Do you know what they were doing? They were ripping off Phineas and Ferb is what they were doing. And Tom Cruise, if you were playing Perry the Platypus, it wouldn't be ripping off. It would be an homage to one of your earlier roles. But instead you have not, because you haven't answered our calls yet.
Come out. We know it's you.
You could be starring in the greatest movie ever made, Phineas and Ferb live action adaptation.
Where you're the only live action star in the entire show. It would be amazing.
You could be the biggest star in the world because you're not famous already. You could be famous.
People would
but
know
instead,
your name.
You're sitting here parodying Perry the Platypus with your Mission Impossible movies and thinking you're real cool because you're putting yourself in danger. Perry goes to work every day and puts himself in danger. He doesn't even get time off half the time. All he does is get just enough money to buy some fedoras. You could shut up about that. Tom Cruise, you better play Perry the Platypus first chance you get. It's the role for your career.
They would actually understand him at retail stores. Instead of talking some Scientology bullshit. This went like a full 180 of we like Tom Cruise to, he's a crazy guy.
I think that those feelings aren't mutually exclusive. I like Tom Cruise and he's insane.
Yes,
Those
yeah.
are different feelings.
Anyway, so Doof is one wheelchair away from being Professor X.
100%. Yeah, he's got
the mind-reading helmet thing.
Yep.
And he can delete things from everyone's mind.
he all he needs is a tragic accident to put him in a wheelchair and he's good to go.
No, by tragic accident, you mean his best friend deflecting a bullet into his spinal cord just at the right moment to paralyze him from the waist down and nowhere else.
Do you know that that's only in the movies?
Yeah, that's the only one I've watched.
Yeah,
Or
First
read.
Class is a fantastic movie, but
Best one they
in the
made.
comics, very, very brief explanation, Juggernaut, the bad guy,
What?
is Professor X's brother,
What?
and he collapsed a building on him.
Editor's note, it's Lachlan from the future. While Juggernaut is actually Professor X's brother, I did get it wrong. It wasn't Juggernaut that broke his legs. It was an alien called Lucifer, which is arguably even weirder.
And it only got half his spine?
Yeah, you can break your back and just lose feeling in your legs. Break your lower back.
Okay, well, next time you get a building collapsed on you, you just break your back, all right? It would be great to see you in the hospital alive opposed to completely dead.
It's perfectly reasonable for someone to have their back. You are missing. Juggernaut is Professor X's brother.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
That's the part that was interesting there.
That poor woman.
No, he wasn't born like that. He's got like a gem in his forehead. That's why he wears a helmet because he knows Professor X's powers. And the helmet deflects mind reading. X-Men is very weird and very
the weird
vast.
child of Marvel.
It was very popular
They're
in the
like,
90s, though.
what happens if we made everyone have superpowers? And they're like, yeah, that's a good idea. We can have a whole race of superpowered people.
And it was a whole big allegory for racism and sexism in the 60s and in the 90s, in case you didn't notice.
Well, they treat it like in the worst one they ever made in what's it called? Last Stand. I watched them recently with my mum.
Oh, yeah.
They treat it like gay.
Like gay.
Like gay. Iceman comes out to his parents and they're like,
Yeah, which is...
have you tried not being a mutant?
I actually think that's good because that's what the allegory is designed to be.
I liked it, but it was a
Like-
very thin metaphor. Like they did not try it.
X-Men's never been a particularly thick metaphor.
it's never tried to show you anything other than Hugh Jackman shirtless with knives for hands.
The basic idea was, what if we made the white teenagers the oppressed ones and then sold that to white teenagers to, make them understand social issues? And the civil rights movement was happening and everyone was like, this is cool. And it became a big thing. This is a very tangential episode. I thought this was going to be a short one, and
All right,
there
'cause
hasn't
we-
been much implications going on, but there sure as hell has been some discussion. Back to Phineas and Ferb. Beautiful line. Removing prepositions makes it more condescending.
It's a great line.
Absolutely hilarious. Roasted.
Roasted.
Good
And then
job,
later
Phineas
on,
and
they
Ferb.
do that to Candace, and Ferb does that to Phineas, and I'm like, that is brother goals. That is
All
a
over it.
good duo right there.
Suppose I should probably mention why Perry's doing a halo jump. Doof has an embarrassing viral video. So he's
Oh, yeah, we totally forgot this.
Yeah,
This is the bit he's trying to remove
This is the
from
actual
everyone's
Invention.
mind.
Yeah, he's decided I'm going to remove this viral video from everyone on Earth's mind, and then he accidentally removes the concept of aglets from everyone's mind, and then he breaks the machine because he's so confident that he won't need it again.
Completely removes the religion of the Aglet, which... Hang on. He could actually remove Christianity. Anyway,
That's wild.
that is wild. You could just...
Can you imagine the Pope just like getting all knowledge of Christianity removed and be like, why the fuck am I in this house?
What the hell is this? Why? Why are people driving me everywhere?
What building am I in? Why is the glass so fancy?
Why is it all in gold? Are we rich?
He'd be so
Did
confused.
someone give us this, or did we take it?
the hell is my name?
The Pope. What sort of name is that?
No, but also popes take a
Pope.
different name when they become the Pope.
Pope.
Yeah, popes are weird.
Pope.
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 It's like poke, but with a p.
Yeah.
Pope.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Pope. Pope.
Can you?
Pope. Pope. That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Make a song called The Pope, and the reason why
just-
it's called The Pope is because you get Pope. 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 We should write for
We
Phineas and
should.
Ferb.
Yeah, we would be. Dan, Jeff, give us a call.
Please.
Yeah, because the Pope takes a different name. So if he forgot all about Christianity, he wouldn't know what his fucking name is. Because his name isn't Francis. Did you not know?
He would just be sitting there like,
Who the fuck am I?
who am I?
What have I spent the last 30 years of my life doing?
No, he would have a name. Like, he'd have his name beforehand, but no one would call him that. They'd be like
Yeah.
Pope Francis, and he'd just be sitting there doing Sudoku. I hope the Pope does Sudoku. I have no idea.
What does the Pope do with his spare time? Does he just
Pray, probably.
Did I send you that meme that was like the gun that shoots communion wafers?
Yes. It was the because
It's social distance.
it's social
communion
distancing,
wafers.
and you tap it, and it just like, and it
it's
looks
like
like one of those
snipe.
Nerf disc ones, and you're like, the Pope.
Oh, we're so completely off topic. Anyway, Doof deletes Doof deletes aglets from everyone.
And he has that little slight mental breakdown when he talks about don't get rid of a box in the attic, and always look in the box.
When they show up to Doof, he's like really having a mental breakdown.
Yeah,
Like,
he needs a hard whiskey.
Yeah.
That's the sort of state he's in.
yeah, he's not having a good time, but he thinks he's going to fix it. And then we get quite possibly one of the greatest jokes in all of Phineas and Ferb, where Doof is like, I can't even walk outside my own home. And he walks through the door and someone goes, hey, it's that guy from that viral video. Let's shame him into staying inside. And they laugh at him and he walks back in and he goes, and that was my kitchen.
And it's such a good joke. And it means that people are just in his house, in his kitchen, and he can't ask them to leave because they're just bullying him about the video. Oh, poor dude.
So
Can't
that's-
even make a sandwich in peace.
So that's one of my, that's pretty much everything I've got, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out of everything as well. And we've already done the fake sponsorship. So there's only
Yeah.
one other thing to plug in our lives, and that's ourselves.
Yeah,
So head on to
ourselves.
our Instagram.
Check out the Instagram, Implications of Phineas and Ferb. Check out the Gmail, Implications of Phineas and Ferb at gmail.com. Check out the TikTok.
I hate every time you say that. But though I do love Dan Povermeier's original content and a lot of other TikTok, I'm only there for Dan Povermeier. It's getting banned in the US.
Yes.
So the only thing that
Well,
I'm
we'll see
there
how that
for
happens.
is going.
We may not be there in a couple of months, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens, yeah. But check out the TikTok. It is available. You can check. It's on the Instagram. We can't remember the username
Like
of
our
it.
comments and the one video we've posted.
Yep, pretty much. Like and share and subscribe and all of those good things because we're YouTubers.
Yeah, and put up something on Apple Podcasts.
yeah, chuck us a review.
Right into
do
us.
all that sort of stuff.
I'm
Yeah,
still
write us.
lonely.
Yep.
Hasn't changed.
Just plug.
Still
everything.
only got
Yep.
this shit friend. That's about it.
Yep. And I'm pretty subpar.
Yeah,
as mentioned.
he's kind of getting to the
Oh
edge there.
Lord! TikTok auto plays an ad when you open it. I know why I hate this thing so much now. Yeah, the TikTok is Implications Phineas and Ferb. Implications Phineas Ferb, no and, or the.
I don't think we were
Or of.
allowed it because it was too long.
Yeah, so just Implications Phineas Ferb on
That's
TikTok.
the most important part.
Yeah, that's the three most important words in that sense, I would say. Chuck us a cheeky review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts from. But we do have an email, nice and simple. We love to hear from people. The girl from Norway, Elena, really happy that the podcast is back. Swampy was such a great guest. That's it, nice and easy. Made my day. Thank you so much.
Made my day.
Appreciate
He
it.
made my life.
Don't have to be these big old messages, just little things of sport. We
There's
love to
something
hear
to
it. Thank you
say.
so much.
If there's something crazy you want to say in some terrible voice, I'm sure I can figure it
If
out.
you'd like us to do read your email in us like a specific imitation of like real world or Phineas and
If
Ferb
you've got
characters.
a good verse for our Pope song, happy to hear it.
Yeah, send us your verses from the Pope song. We'll actually make the new theme song. Theme song for season 3, which we're not going to do, is going to be
It's
the
just going to be
Pope.
Pope, and no one's going to know. It'd be like, I thought this was about Phineas and Ferb, and just like Pope. Pope. It's going to be great.
It's going to be, yeah, beautiful. Anyway, we've rambled on long enough. Thank you so much for listening and have a lovely rest of your day.
I know what we've done today.